Hi everyone, thank you so much for tuning into my channel. Today I'm sharing how I make chicken mince biryani or chicken keema biryani in my instant pot. It's a really easy recipe, super simple and very delicious. And the best part, it's all made in one pot. That is your instant pot, so you don't need any other thing to cook this delicious biryani. From cooking your rice to cooking the chicken mince to even giving your biryani these beautiful layers, every single part of this method and recipe is done in an instant pot. So let's get started with the recipe, but before that, please do consider subscribing to my channel and giving this video a big thumbs up. So the first thing I'm going to do is marinate 500 grams of chicken mince, and to that I added 1 tablespoon each of ginger garlic paste, 2 to 3 tablespoons heaped of yogurt, a teaspoon each of cumin powder, coriander powder and red chili powder, quarter teaspoon of turmeric powder, and 1 tablespoon of biryani or korma masala, whichever you have available. Just mix it well and let it sit for 20 minutes to 30 minutes or overnight if you want. So the next thing is preparing our rice. I had 2 cups of rice, which was, I used a measuring cup for that, and then I soaked it for 1 hour until they doubled in size. And then I'm going to sieve them out so that all the extra moisture has been drained out of the rice. And now I'm adding them to my instant pot, which is going to make the most perfect rice ever. It's super easy and I'm sure you guys are going to really like it. And to the rice I'm adding all these things that you can see in the ingredient list as well. And I'm adding 2 cups of water and some salt. Now for cooking the rice in instant pot, even if you're making plain boiled rice, I would recommend using 1:1. So for every 1 cup of rice, use 1 cup of water. And now all I'm doing is putting my instant pot to a sealing mode so that it can cook in its own steam. And I'm going to pressure cook it on low. So if you have the same IP duo, pressing the pressure cook button again, you can switch between the low and high pressure. So low pressure for 3 minutes, and you are going to be doing a quick pressure release, which means the moment the timer is up, you're going to open the valve, let the steam out, be very careful, it's really hot. And once that button is down, that means that it's safe to open the pressure. You can now release it. You can now open the lid. So look at that, the rice has been done beautifully. These right now are about 80 to 85% done, which is what we want for biryani. But if you were making plain boiled rice, or if you were gonna serve it as it is, just fluff it up like I am doing here, and then close the lid, turn off your instant pot and let it sit for an additional 10 to 20 minutes so it can absorb all that steam and cook through. And if you still feel that it's not done yet, add a couple tablespoons more water and then let it sit so it can produce more steam and absorb it and cook it through. So all I'm going to do now is take it out in another bowl so that I can clean this and stir it, which I did just with some hot water, and then I'm going to put it back into my instant pot. Put my instant pot on saute mode and we're going to be cooking our chicken mince. So I added about 2 to 3 tablespoons of oil, and because I want it to be an extremely fast biryani, I'm adding pre-fried onions, and I'm using 2 tablespoons of tomato puree with that, and I took about 1/3 to half cups of pre-fried onions. If you don't have that, use 2 to 3 medium-sized onions, fry them, use half for the masala and half to layer the biryani, and you can use 2 to 3 medium-sized tomatoes as well. And I just cooked it for a minute so that my onions could rehydrate. And then I added my chicken mince plus 2 to 3 tablespoons of water, because it's not going to be releasing as much liquid as a regular boned chicken would. So I added additional water myself, and because I don't want my chicken mince pieces to be extremely small, I just let it sit for 1 to 2 minutes so that it can start searing, and then I cook it further. I'm being a little bit careful because I want the chicken mince pieces of my biryani to have a little bite and a chew to it, rather than just a little piece that you get in your mouth. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. And the basic thing and the most important thing about making any desi recipe is reducing and cooking your meat or vegetable, whatever you're making, to a point where the oil, it starts oozing out. That means that you have done a good job at bonifying your curry or your gravy. So you can see that it has started to release all that oil. It has a little bit of a char on top of it, and at that point I think it's pretty good. And I'm going to take out half of my chicken mince for the layer now, and then other half is gonna still stay in my Instant Pot. If you feel your chicken mince is burning at this point, you can turn off the pot, or you can switch to keep warm, because you don't want to lose the steam, as that is what's going to cook the remaining 10-20% of your rice. So now to layer the biryani, I'm adding half of my rice on top of the chicken mince, and then I'm going to be adding some fried onions, followed by the other half of the chicken mince. Add that, spread it around nicely, make sure you put in everything, the oil, the chicken, because that's where all the flavor is. Biryani is a little bit oily, but if you want, you can skip it too. It's completely your choice. So now spread it around, add the other half of your rice, which, if I say so myself, is extremely lovely. It took no time and it's all really fluffy. Every single grain is separated. And spread it around nicely all over your chicken mince. And to that I'm adding the color. I had 1/4 cup of milk, to which I added about half a teaspoon of zarda color. You can use yellow or red color, a mixture of either, to get your desired shade. And I also added half a teaspoon of saffron essence to it. You can use rose essence, saffron essence, kera, whatever you prefer, but personally I don't like the smell and taste of kera. It tends to get super strong really quickly. So I use saffron or rose. And now I added some green chilies, mint leaves, some fresh lemon, and I love the fragrance and the taste of kasuri methi or fenugreek leaves. I added a pinchful of that, followed by half a teaspoon of garam masala. And I think this is not even a teaspoon. I'm adding a little bit of desi ghee, homemade desi ghee. It's going to add a beautiful aroma to your biryani. And now again, put your Instant Pot to seal. And then we're going to put our biryani on dum using the keep warm mode of the Instant Pot, which heats up your Instant Pot gently, and you want a constant steam inside your pot so that the remaining 10-20% of your rice can cook through. It starts from 10 hours, and when you press the minus button, it reduces. So you can reduce it to however much you want. And the minimum is 10 minutes, and you can do more if you like as well. So after 10 minutes, the biryani is wonderfully done, and at this point you can see that everything is perfectly cooked. Your rice are all separate, long, beautiful grains of rice, white and orange, the perfect biryani rice I would call it. But even now, if you feel that your rice are not cooked enough, you want them to be a little bit more soft, add 2 to 3 tablespoons more of water, seal up your Instant Pot, put the lid back on, seal it, and let it sit on keep warm for another 10-20 minutes, so that the steam that the additional water produce is absorbed by the rice and it can cook through. So that was all for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and this video. Please do try it and let me know how it turns out for you. If you do try it, I would love seeing your recreations on my Instagram page, which I'm linking here for you. It's by the same name, the homemaker baker _falakalik. If you have any more requests, comment below. Until next time, the homemaker baker over and out.